spend 55 minutes to identify the right questions to be asked. And I'll spend only 5 minutes to answer those questions. You know, this is what unfortunately has happened with us as a society, and specifically with the younger generation whom I'm proud to be or privileged to be talking to. We have a lot of answers. But the real question is, do we have the right questions to be asked? And now let's ask some of those questions which those economic theories or approach to academic in general has led to some questions which perhaps your generation should be asking those questions. Because if you ask those right questions, spend a lot of time on asking those questions, then only you'll be able to come out with some answers which are relevant answers. I have seen that a lot of people come out with answers first, and then they say, oh, this answer actually goes and targets that particular question. Let's go and ask a few questions then. If those models were right, those economic theories were right, let's now look at the real world and put some questions to ourselves. In our own country, let's start from there, or even let's start with Uttar Pradesh as a state. And I know 2011 census data, 5 most forward, or I would say economically grown districts.
And friends, the big fight and the debate for the senior category was on the topic, is e-commerce killing brick and mortar? Hear out 30 participating teams speaking for and against the topic in the presence of judges for the day, Mr. Elton D'Souza, former principal, Lamartine College, Lucknow, Mr. Y.D. Mathur, former director, Asian Development Bank, Ms. M. Bose, advocate, High Court, Lucknow.
The rise from Amazon to Zappos take down the bookstore up the street? It definitely will. In India now, readers tend to purchase books from the comfort of their couch than from some nearby bookstore, killing the business of the small booksellers. Consumers are prioritizing comfort, and they are not willing to spare any extra energy or extra time by visiting these physical stores. People are opting out of the mall experience and embracing the opportunity to purchase a wider array of goods online at a lower price. Instances of such cases where the bricks and mortar stores have been subjugated by the online retailers is visible everywhere. In America, book chains like Border and Barnes and Noble, who themselves crushed the small book retailers by their fierce competition decades back, are now facing extensive threats from the online retailers, especially online shopping for books, apparels, appliances, and DVDs, and more.
Indeed, well spoken, but in your speech you mainly focused on the couch factor, that we could buy things from our couch. Am I right? Suppose tomorrow you have to buy a car. What would you prefer? Order it from your couch, or go there, test the car, test its various appliances, and then buy it?
Look, I'm not saying that brick and mortar stores are completely vanished.
Again, here you refused
There's no
your point.
follow-up. We're not going to allow any follow-ups. Could you just feel free to answer the question? What would you choose about
I'm not saying that brick and mortar stores are completely vanished. There are a few products, the sales of which are better off when we visit these physical stores, but the most of them are more convenient. Look, comfort is the thing that we are preferring now. So I think even if we buy a car from our couch, I think it won't matter that much.
You said Barnes and Noble shut down, but then why didn't Crossword shut down? Crossword is also in the same brick and mortar, competition with the e-commerce retail stores. Why didn't Crossword shut down if Barnes and Noble did?
Well, there'll always be a time. I think now people have become more high-tech. They're becoming techno-friendly. So gradually and eventually, I think they will progress, and all these brick and mortar stores will vanish one day, according to me.
You say that e-commerce is killing bricks? Well, I agree, but with a different opinion of it. According to me, it is killing the unwanted barriers for a consumer to purchase and a seller to sell to any part of the world. For me, e-commerce is the best step to create this world into a global village. Around Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi talks about creating digital India. And what other than e-commerce could be its basic step? And if you say that it's creating unemployment, then I say that you're required to update your thinking, as it's creating an opportunity for skill development. We are all concerned about pollution, but when it actually comes to shopping, it doesn't take us a moment to rush into our vehicles and scan several shops, where a recent study tells that the transportation used for shopping causes almost 0.3% of annual global warming. I repeat, 0.3%. Now here, e-commerce is the solution. Instead of contributing to traffic, which ultimately leads to pollution, let's scan several online websites and place orders. Believe me, friends, it's though a small step, but can make a huge difference. And another statistic tells that a quarter of a European country's total turnover is generated via the online channels. E-commerce is not only beneficial for the wider range for consumers and the wider market for producers, but it would also help the government to keep an eye on the taxation process, and moreover, it is a lead towards paperless society.
That's a very vibrant speech, ma'am. Thank you. But at the beginning, you did say that we needed to update our thinking if we believed e-commerce wasn't the way to go. I believe that we do need to come to terms with reality and understand that India is a relatively underdeveloped nation. Half our population does not have access to our computer, let alone the means to buy an iPad online. What are your thoughts on this?
Do you know that Facebook has started an initiative of facebook.org where it is trying to connect such people to internet so that they can flourish, they can develop. And I think that the initiative taken by our Prime Minister, Honorable Narendra Modi, of skill development is one such process which can help India to develop technologically.
And I'm here to convince all of you that e-commerce is killing brick and mortar. All of us know how fast-growing e-commerce is when it comes to selling goods online. Everything from your most basic needs to the most luxurious ones can be satisfied through online purchasing. For example, from your toothpaste to your iPad, you can buy anything online. But the question to ponder over here is e-commerce killing brick and mortar? In my most personal and candid opinion, e-commerce is killing brick and mortar. Clicks are absolutely killing bricks. In my opinion, e-commerce is giving brick and mortar a slow death.
Honorable Sir, in your statement you mentioned that e-commerce is giving a slow death to brick and mortar industries. But this speaker would like to question as to what is the issue, because then this would eventually anyway create a greater level of accountability in these e-commerce industries now when they replace the brick and mortar industries, and they would have to be accountable to the people if they want to survive in the industry. So what is the problem? At the end of the day, the products will be given on time to the people if we're looking at the long run.
I didn't say there's a problem in that. But then here I'm supposed to state that e-commerce is killing brick and mortar. And that is the whole point.
Okay, thank you so much.
It is said caricature is the best form of expression that brings out the intelligence of a person about the understanding of a topic. Fintoons or financial cartoons for senior category, 39 teams participated in this event. The judges for the event, Ms. Shikha Pandey, eminent artist, Fine Arts College, Lucknow University, Mr. Sameer Das, retired producer, graphics, arts and activities, Doordarshan Kendra, Lucknow, and Mr. Khanna had to judge the participants based on the cartoon's originality, color combination, creativity, appeal, and of course the overall presentation. The second half of the competitive round at IYCCE 2015 began with the address by Ms. Madhvi Kukreja, social activist and social entrepreneur, Sanatkada, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Ms. Kukreja has worked extensively for Vanangana in Chitrakoot district of Uttar Pradesh, and she is the founder member and treasurer of this NGO. Here are the excerpts from her speech.
But I'm trying to say that unless you look at women as a human being, Men also can have a role as child rearers, and they do, definitely. So why are we only working, and unless we change the framework of looking at women's empowerment, nothing is going to change. So in that whole thing of social and economic empowerment, we have to change the framework of the way we think. So when we think of a farmer, I mean, the typical thing that we have in our textbooks is a male farmer. Women, of course, do nothing for farming. When we think of a plumber, an electrician, or anything, we always think of men in those jobs. Because that's the truth. Any job that requires mobility, a different level of brain, girls will be told, don't take these subjects. How will you balance being a doctor and looking after your family? I'm not saying that many girls have not challenged that, or that they don't do it. But there is that whole thing of what are the subjects you're choosing, because you've got to balance both your lives. This is for the upper middle class. For the rural poor woman, she is actually working in her fields and looking after her children also. I mean, there's no other choice for her. She's going out for labor and she's looking after her family and going out to work. For the upper class people who, or middle class who do go into the work field, a lot of them who go out have to also balance both. But yet you have to be told to make your choices according to that. So I think if you have to, and it's very interesting, but what do people tell women to become?
Subsequently, preliminary written round for Biz Quiz took place in one of the basement halls. For the junior students, an interesting competition called Corporate Elocution was conducted, where 29 teams participated and they had to speak or recite inspirational and motivational lines from the corporate speeches of famous people. Judges for Corporate Elocution were Mrs. Nidhi Prakash, entrepreneur, social worker and academician, Mr. Akhilesh Kumar Roy, VP Circle Head HDFC Lucknow, and Mr. Bakul Sikka, Deputy Vice President Cluster Head HDFC.
One day I was sipping a coffee in a restaurant. I remember very clearly that my table was at the corner of the restaurant. What happened? A cockroach suddenly flew in from somewhere and landed to a lady group. When she seen the cockroach, she started screaming out of fear. With trembling voice, panic face, she was totally feared. She tried hard to get up from the cockroach, but she was not able to do so. Her action was contagious as everyone, the group member, they also got panic, they also got scared. After a long war, after a long period of time, she was able to throw the cockroach from her side to another side. But what? At that time, here the problem doesn't end. Here another problem begins. At another side, another lady group was sitting. Now what? What was going to happen? Same thing, same situation, same drama, same panicness. They also got feared. They also started shouting. When the restaurant waiter seen this all in the camera, he rushes toward the rescue and picked up the tiny cockroach in his two little fingers and thrown after the restaurant. I was just watching all this sitting at the corner. Suddenly, the antenna of my mind rose up like an Eiffel Tower. I thought at that moment was that cockroach responsible for this historic moment? If it is so, if cockroach was responsible, then why was waiter not got disturbed? Why he was not caught panic? It's not the cockroach, but it is the inability of handling the disturbance caused by the cockroach which disturbs the lady. I realized at that time with my heart that it's not the shouting of my father or my boss which disturbs me every time. It's all the inability of handling the situation caused due to this shouting which disturbs me. I understood that more than the problem, my reaction to the problem switches my life, switches my everyday. I realized at that time I should never react, I should always respond. The woman reacted where the waiter responded. Reaction are always initiative, whereas respond are always well thought, well planned about the situation.
Why women are not making it to the top. Sheryl Sandberg. So, for any of us here in this room today, let's start by admitting we're lucky. We don't live in the world our mothers or grandmothers lived, where career choices for women were so limited. However, we still have a problem, and it's a real problem. And the problem is this. Women are not making it to the top of any profession anywhere in the world. So, the question is, how are we going to fix this? How do we change these numbers at the top? I want to start out by saying, I talk about this, about keeping women in the workforce, because I really feel that's the answer. My talk today is about messages for if you do want to stay in the workforce. And there are 3. 1, sit at the table. 2, make your partner a real partner. And 3, don't leave before you leave. 1, sit at the table. The problem is that women systematically underestimate their own ability. If you test men and women and you ask them questions on totally objective criteria like GPAs, men get it wrong slightly high and women get it wrong slightly low. Also, women do not negotiate for themselves in the workforce. A study in the last 2 years of people entering the workforce at a college showed that 57% of boys entering the workforce or men are negotiating their first salary, and only 7% women. Message number 2, make your partner a real partner. I've become convinced that we have made more progress in the workforce than we have in the home. If a woman and a man work full-time and have a child, then the woman does twice the amount of housework and 3 times the amount of childcare. So she's got 3 or 2 jobs and he's got 1 job. So who do you think drops out when someone needs to be home more? Message number 3, don't leave before you leave. Here's what happens. We're all busy. Everyone is busy and a woman is busy. And she starts thinking about having a child. And the moment she starts thinking about having a child, she starts leaning back. The problem, as I have seen, is that women start to think this way earlier.
Respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters, today it is an honor for me being here with such honorable people. I don't know where to begin my speech, but first of all, thank you to God, for whom we all are equal. I cannot believe how much love people have shown me. Thank you to the children whose innocent words encouraged me. Thank you to my elders whose prayers strengthened me. Dear brothers and sisters, do remember one thing. Malala Day is not my day. Today is the day of every woman, every boy, and every girl who have raised their voice for their rights. I raise up my voice not so that I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. Those who have fought for their rights, their right to live in peace, their right to be treated with dignity, their right to equality of opportunity, their right to be educated. Dear friends, on the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullets would silence us, but they failed. And then, out of that silence came thousands of voices. I am the same Malala. My ambitions are the same. My hopes are the same. And my dreams are the same.
For the competition, com.net for senior category, it was a subject knowledge test for economics, commerce and accounts. 46 teams participated, each team consisting of 2 students. The judges for the competition were Mr. A.K. Vaish, Professor, National PG College, Lucknow, Mr. Manoj Mishra, CA, MM Associates, Lucknow, and Mr. Rajiv Upadhyay, CEO, Uttar Pradesh Pollution Control Board, Lucknow. And now we bring to you some diligent contestants in the junior category working hard in bringing out a scientific model on the topic Nature of Science. 26 teams participated for this making of working scientific model, and the judges for the event were Dr. Rajesh Gupta, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Lucknow, and Ms. Jaya Pandey, Head of Department, Chemistry, Amity University, Lucknow. The competitions round came to an end with the cultural program presented by the delegates in the evening. Enjoy some of the excerpts brought to you by team from CMS Films and Radio Division. On the third day of 3rd International IYCCE 2015, the participating students of Sri Lanka, Nepal and various states of India lit the lamp of green revolution. A massive tree plantation drive was organized at the Jai Jagat Park.
To know about these books are that they are from Allah, from God, from Paramatma, whatever you name. They are from Rabb. इनको भेजने वाला, सभी किताबों को भेजने वाला एक परमेश्वर है और इनका ज्ञान सारी मानव जाति के लिए है, किसी विशेष जाति धर्म के लिए नहीं है। चाहे बाइबल हो, चाहे कुरान हो, चाहे गीता हो, चाहे त्रिपिटक हो, चाहे किताब एकदस हो, चाहे किताब एजाविस्ता हो या त्रिपिटक हो, गुरु ग्रंथ साहब हो, कोई भी हो, तो ये सारी किताबें सारी मानव जाति के लिए हैं और ये युग युग में आई हैं, एक साथ तो सब आई नहीं। प्रोग्रेसिवली रिवील किया है, गॉड हैज रिवील्ड हिज वर्ड्स प्रोग्रेसिवली and cyclically over a time through a series of divine teachers, and that their teachings are tailored to suit the needs of different ages and places of their appearance. All the manifestations of God has revealed two kinds of laws. One is the eternal, another is the social. Eternal laws never changes. Eternal laws of religion, love, truth, sacrifice, brotherhood, friendship, self-sacrifice. These are all values. Satya, prem, daya, karuna, kshama, sahanubhuti, उदारता, तन मन की सफाई, चरित्र कबल, नैतिकता, विश्वास पात्रता, त्याग, बलिदान, सेवा की भावना, ये सारी जो शिक्षाएं हैं हर धर्म में यही हैं. इनको तो बार बार परमात्मा के अवतार आके रिमाइंड कराते हैं, याद दिलाते हैं, ताकि लोग इन शिक्षाओं पर चले. जो भूल जाते हैं तो भूल जाने के बाद उनको याद दिलाते हैं. लेकिन एक और कारण होता है जिससे विभिन्न अवतार आते हैं. उसी युग, काल और परिस्थिति में किस जगह सबसे बड़ी समस्या है और वहां की मानव जाति की क्या समस्या है, उस समस्या के हल के लिए कोई ऐसा उपाय देते हैं जिसके हल से वो लोगों की समस्या दूर हो जाए, लोगों के दुख दूर हो जाए. उदाहरण के लिए मक्का में बारबरस जंगली ट्राइब्स गरीबों को बहुत सताते थे. ये 10 रुपए उधार दे दें तो 10 रुपए ब्याज लगाते, और वो 10 रुपए न दे पाए तो 20 रुपए जुर्माना कर देते, और 20 रुपए न दे पाए तो और 20 का जुर्माना 40 हो गए, और वो 40 न दे पाए तो उसकी बहू बेटी ले जाते थे, बच्चे ले जाते थे, उसके पशुओं को ले जाते थे, बदसलूकी करते थे. मोहम्मद साहब बचपन से इसका विरोध करते थे. यह अन्याय है, जुल्म है, इसको नहीं करना चाहिए. इसके लिए उन्होंने संघर्ष किया. तो कबीले के सरदार ने मारना चाहते थे. ये मौत के साए में 13 वर्ष तक मक्का में जिए, और 13 वर्ष के बाद एक रात में छिप कर ये मदीने गए. कुछ इनके साथी भी गए, लेकिन किलर्स ने देखा कि मक्का में कहीं भी मोहम्मद नहीं है, तो उन्होंने ख्याल किया कि हो सकता मदीने चला गया हो. तो किलर्स मदीने तक उनको पीछा किए कि वहां मारेंगे. और जब ये बात उनके अनुयायियों को पता लगी, कुछ अनुयायी थे थोड़े से उनके साथ, तो अबिसिनिया भाग गए. मोहम्मद साहब अकेले रह गए. लेकिन मोहम्मद साहब पवित्र आत्मा थे, खुदा को उन्होंने पहचान लिया था, अल्लाह को, परमात्मा को. उन्हें संदेश मिला, मोहम्मद तुम अकेले नहीं हो, हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं. हमने तो 7,500 वर्ष पूर्व राम को भी ये सीख दी थी कि युद्ध करो. रावण बड़ा शक्तिशाली था, उसके बाद फौज थी, बहुत सेनाएं थी, अस्त्र शस्त्र थे. राम तो निहत्थे थे, इनके पास कुछ भी नहीं था. तो हमने राम से कहा कि तुम युद्ध करो, हम तुम्हारा सहयोग करेंगे. और राम जीते और रावण परास्त हुआ. और मानव जीवन को मर्यादित करने के लिए मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम भगवान श्री राम ने जीवन को मर्यादित किया. जो अमर्यादित राजा था उसका विनाश किया, और उन्होंने समाज में एक धारणा उत्पन्न की कि मानव जीवन में मर्यादा होनी चाहिए.
The highlight of the third day of IYCCE was an incisive and thought-provoking presentation by Professor Geeta Gandhi Kingdon, Chair of Education, Economics and International Development, University of London, on recent trends in economics.
So really straddles the disciplines of economics and sociology. So these economists, the classical economists, examined the ways in which landed classes, capitalist classes and laboring classes produced and distributed national output, and these economists modeled the effect of population and of international trade on the wealth of countries. So here is the front page of An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. It says, formerly Professor of Moral Philosophy at the University of Glasgow. So the discipline of economics in those days, in the 18th century, 1700s and something,
Her presentation raised a pertinent question that people may be rolling in wealth, but are they really happy without education, health, and are they satisfied? Here are the excerpts.
From about the 1870s onwards, neoclassical economics attempted to erect a positive as opposed to a normative field of economics. So up to that point, economics was, as we said, it was grounded in philosophy and used a historical and descriptive approach. From the 1870s onwards, there was a concerted attempt to make the discipline of economics more formal, more mathematical, more analytical, and scientifically grounded. Positive as opposed to normative. Can somebody tell me the difference between give me an example of a positive statement and a normative statement. Positive economics is what the situation as it is, and normative is what it ought to be, or the word should. Whenever you use the word should, it becomes normative. It's your view, or it's a value judgment, or it's a stance that somebody is taking. And what is a fact. So positive and normative are different. So economics became much more a positive discipline rather than somebody pontificating as to what it should be, what things should be like. Okay, so from looking at this, prima facie, we would conclude what you have concluded, namely that you can increase income as much as you like. Happiness does not respond to increases in income. But is that true? In our lives, is it not the case that if we get more money, we are happier? For example, people who live in slum areas, if they have more money, they could move out of that slum area and live in a better housing where there's more sanitation, where health will be better, and so on and so forth. Would that not improve their perceived well-being? So, with that question in mind, let's go on to the next slide. So this is data from Japan between 1958 and 1991, and that also shows even more dramatically than we saw for the United States of America in the previous graph, even more dramatically, that life satisfaction, self-reported life satisfaction levels have remained virtually static over the period of nearly 32 years here, but per capita income increased sixfold, 600% in inflation-adjusted terms, 600%. So again, you see the same thing. So now let's move on. This really contradicts what we just concluded. This is showing on the horizontal axis, income in 1996 US dollars. So again, this is inflation-adjusted income.
AdGuru is an event for all those who have the ability to cast a spell on buyers. In short, performing an advertisement. The competition was open for both junior and senior categories, and 28 teams participated in this competition. There were 3 topics to choose for advertisement, namely educational tools, health food, and chocolates. The contestants performed very well, displaying their power of packaging and presentation. The judges had to judge them on their ability to attract concept of advertisement, teamwork, voice modulation, ability to highlight the idea of product, and of course the overall presentation.
So much that she's already come here thrice for a chocoholic facial.
Okay, chocoholic then.
OMG, I can feel my skin glowing. Wow. Half an hour later. Oh my god, you look so beautiful. Wow, this is so nice. I love it, I love it, I love it. Trust me, Chocoholic is the best. See you next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that for a Chocoholic facial.
Chocoholic! On the bright morning of Diwali, the leaders now are convinced to celebrate the festival with each other. They exchange greetings of Diwali.
और जनाब दिवाली की तैयारियां कैसे चल रही है?
जनाब दिवाली की तैयारियां तो अच्छी चल रही हैं, पर हम चाहते हैं कि इस साल हम ये त्योहार आपके साथ भी बनाएं। ये हमारी ओर से, पूरे भारत की ओर से आपके लिए दिवाली की बधाइयां।
आपकी बधाई तो बहुत अच्छी है, इसमें नट्स, कैरमल, नोगट और बहुत कुछ।
आप सब लोगों को भी हमारी तरफ से दिवालियों की बधाई।
इस दिवाली बधाइयां दो बधाई से।
Pond, seriously?
Look at your skeleton, baby.
Try some rich diet, honey.
Hi girls.
Yeah? Like that. Ooh la la.
Hi honey.
Leave! What are you doing? Leave! Help! Someone help us! You please help!
Me? But what can I do? Are you tired of your life? Do you want to change your life? We bring you bond power. It makes you stronger, stronger, and stronger. With more vitamins and more amino acids, it gives you muscle power and mental power. Hey you, have it.
Oh, so good. Oh. Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, it's so good.
Amazing.
Bond. James Bond.
Yes! The real part.
It's Bond Part.
Ooh la la.
Bond power. Be bonded with constant power. Now available in tasty flavors of chocolate, vanilla and strawberry. More carbs, more energy.
Imagine yourself sitting in a boring geography class when the teacher is trying to teach you, but the students just don't want to listen because it's not interesting enough.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Hi there, are you tired of teaching geography to students who just don't understand the point of it? Or are you tired of learning geography because you don't get it? Well, have no fear, because after a lot of research and hard work, we have come to you with an all-new, highly advanced, highly informative, new level of education. We present to you Mathematica. Smarter than a smartphone, smaller than a smartphone, cheaper than a yoga mat, faster than an airplane. Math is going to be your best friend in teaching geography to all those students out there. Let me demonstrate how it works. Let's click on a country, India.
Incredible India, dancing with intense ebullience, the magnificent peacock takes pride to be the national bird, whereas the tiger is the national animal of this immaculate nation. India has encapsulating a both like the Thar, River Ganga, and Himalaya as its creation, engulfing all varieties of rich traditions and cultures. Kathak is one of the traditional
Wait. Why are we talking about a country that we already know so well? Let's talk about a country that you never even seen before. A place that you never even knew existed. It's not even visible on the map. New Way.